you can have 6 of them listed before it negatively impacted your credit. But for the most part, we as a people don't know that.
We got we got some kind of resources at our disposal now, and it's like from what I learned from starting to do, because before I wasn't doing anything, and now that I'm reaching out and trying to do a little something here, and working with the computer and trying to network and stuff like this. The thing that I'm starting to realize is that everything's possible. Like if you get the right advisement, if you understand what tools it is, because a lot of stuff we was cut off from before. It seems like everything is starting to be open source, which it takes a little bit of the burden off your brain when you do all this research all day and you trying to find an avenue, there is somebody with information for you. Like sometimes it's good for to end up connecting with somebody who can give you some more options, because I think that every option is really out there to get past every firewall. It's just finding that person who know and somebody who can help you out with it.
Yeah, and see, here's the problem. If you're on disability or Social Security, you cannot be listed as an owner.
Oh man, we're gonna have to go talk to Donald Trump and get him to tell us how to do some crime.
Or his, what was it? His son Jared. You know, Jared was and so far we haven't heard anything else about that. Jared was accused of defrauding these charities. I forget the housing or something.
What he
These
did?
grants.
What he
How?
did was what he did was Jared got a $800 million grant for low income housing, and he
It,
built condos for rich
he
people.
built everything but low income housing.
What?
But wait a minute, that was just one. He
Wait a
was
minute.
trying to
Right.
get some
You
more.
say you say he got that grant for low income housing,
Yeah,
Supposedly,
and he built
it was
condos
through
for rich
HUD.
folks.
It was for HUD. It was through HUD.
but he built high end residences.
Is that against the law?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh my God, man. So is anybody going to jail for this one or what?
And we ain't heard nothing else about it.
Nope.
It's been so far swept under the rug.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
It's hard because whatever they do flies, and if you try something like that, it's over for you. If you try something legal, it's over for you.
Listen, listen. Trump got tariffs on China, right? Why is it the only product coming out of China that don't have a tariff on it is stuff that's produced by the Trumps?
What?
Like the hats and
Right.
all kinds of stuff.
His daughter's stuff. There's no tariffs
Don't
on it.
have tariffs on
What? Oh
it.
my God.
Yes.
Let's just use the United States government as my own butler, my own fucking underground networking system. And do whatever the fuck I want. This
That's
motherfucker is
why
And
when
a
that,
they keep
that
hollering, that's why when these Trump supporters keep hollering, he donated his salary. Shut up. He
he
donated his
donated it
salary.
to himself.
He donated it to himself.
donated. What the hell does that even? What does that even mean?
He donated it to his
Donated
charity.
his charity, which he run.
What is this charity?
Trump organization. That's one of them.
He funded himself. What the hell?
Yes.
Uh-uh. He donated it to his favorite charity.
Trump I think what is the Trump organization, ain't it?
Mm-mm. It's the foundation to help ex-porn stars.
But he controls it. He controls it. The organization that he donated his yearly presidential salary to, he controls it. He says what can and cannot happen. So
Right.
he just still, even though he get a tax write-off, he still get to spend the money the way he want to.
What a greedy ass Grinch.
They just crooked, man. They just crooked. Okay? And they taking the laws and bending them for his family. But if they catch you, they want to send you to prison.
Like, check this out. Saudi Arabia bought 3 apartments off of Donald Trump's um, Trump Tower, right?
Hmm.
He turned around and bypassed Congress and gave them an arms deal.
Wait a minute.
This has been in the last 6 months.
Yes, yes. And Saudi Arabia is building the smart bombs for this country. And you know what the smart bombs are, don't you?
Anything that don't got Donald Trump's picture on it.
They are one of, if not the most sophisticated bombs that this country has.
Hello, you're on the air. Did I win? You sure did. You better believe it, lady. $1 million is all yours. Boy, this has certainly been a great summer for you, isn't it? Just a second. There's a rocket coming in here.
What? A rocket? Wait, what about my money? Is anyone there?
Has.
What does a smart bomb do?
Whatever you tell it. That's why they call it a smart bomb.
Oh, so
They
it's
have,
not like those dirty bombs or whatever. It's not something
they
that
have-
spreads.
No.
They can type in it into the computer, pinpoint latitude, longitude where they want this bomb to strike, and it'll strike
And it will
pinpoint
go.
accuracy.
So it's not just a bomb that you place somewhere. It's a rocket.
No.
That's
Yeah.
why they call it smart bomb.
It goes wherever you program it to go.
Yeah, they be sitting out in the middle of the Mediterranean and shoot that sucker, and that sucker would go where they tell it to go.
Yeah. Pinpoint. If they tell it to go through your bedroom window, it may come through the bedroom window.
Mm-hmm.
That's some scary shit.
They say
They done tried all kind of ways of exterminating the black seed, namely the black male. They done tried everything. They done tried drugs. They done tried social engineering. They done tried terrorism acts. They done even make the military appeasing so that when they do start a war, who's going to fight? Black people. Okay? And everything that they done tried or they done thought to try is not working.
Listen, I just figured it out. That's why they want to start a war with Iraq.
That's what I'm telling
Because
you.
see, they can't keep up with as far as how we're replacing. We are more of us are being born than are dying. Okay, they're on the opposite scale. More white people are dying than are being born, and that's what they're trying to slow up. So if they start a war with Iran, see, we on the front line. You know who getting shipped out?
This man should fall. Who will lift the flag and carry on?
I will.
The black guys.
Yeah,
That's the whole thing behind it. It's the extermination of black people. Okay,
Yes.
because they're not going to use conventional, just like shooting and then they're going to use some advanced stuff. Okay, that's able to wipe us out.
The crazy part is that we got so much compartmentalization because we got some of our allies are actually white. Some of our allies would be women. The compartmentalization is keeping a lot of people who would be like-minded if they knew certain stuff. Have you ever noticed how many people are oblivious to what their weird counterparts are into that's white? Like, you get into an argument with those cats, and they don't even know what's happening to you because it ain't happening to them, and they just like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? America's great, and it's just like, it's so strange. But it's like, if we had a more efficient way of getting people to see some certain shit, it'd be a lot of conversion maybe. Because I mean, it's about the human race in a lot of ways. Like, I don't know who's more melanated or who got this or who got that, but it's like, like they said, man, in the Matrix, the only way we're gonna get to the future is together. Like, I mean, I don't think we're gonna be able to murder them. They ain't gonna be able to kill us all. I don't know what's, the real thing is there's gonna be a multicolored army that needs to stop this this whole separation, segregation, compartmentalization stuff.
Let our powers combine. Earth, fire,
Wind, water, heart.
By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet.
And I mean, anybody who's
not only did they divide us, we divide ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, within our own community, we got so many different. That's why you got 3 and 4 churches on corners and all this stuff. Each one of those churches ain't on the same page. None of them.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, and then you got all these different denominations. You got Baptists, then you got Methodists, and then you got Methodists, and all these different denominations. None of them are on the same page. You can't get none of them to cooperate about nothing.
Yes, they. Wait. I gotta correct you. Yes, they are.
Okay.
They passed that plate around 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, they
all of them.
They unite around that mighty dollar.
Everybody agree on draining your damn pocket.
Yeah, they on the same page with passing that collection plate around 3 or 4 times now.
Right.
What do we have in common with them, guys? We're all crooks.
I'm sorry, Steve. I had to just stop you on that one. Wait a minute. Yes, they is now. They on one accord on one thing now, collecting that money.
Now that's gonna separate.
And I just had an argument with well, not really an argument, but he was talking about something about Christians, the Christian pastors, and I said, well, no. He said the tithes are for the uplifting of the kingdom of God. I said, oh, they is, right? Yeah. And I said, well, how come most of these pastors living in a big mansion? How's that uplifting the kingdom of God? Waiting on him now to give me a response, and that's been a couple of days ago.
You ain't gonna get one.
That's such a terrible example.
I just hit him with okay. I said these pastors are living in mansions and living lavishly off of the tithes. So how in the world is that supposed to be, or is that uplifting the kingdom of God?
Now all you have to do is go out and look at Creflo Dollar's church. Okay? Go look at that big old church sitting up there.
Oh, I've seen it.
Old National. Okay? Then ride down Old National and look at all the homeless people and girls pushing strollers with their clothes all on their back, and all these people, dudes and families, and all of them staying in these hotels and can't stay, running around panhandling trying to get money to stay in a hotel for a night. But you got that big beautiful church over there. He ain't doing nothing for none of them people.
Ain't he the one that got the private jet?
Yeah.
Yeah, and wait a minute, he owned most of the communities.
Right, he owned all that property. around the church.
Oh, here?
He owned most of the houses. He owned the other couple of other churches right next door. The church itself, got a private lake behind it. He
And he fenced it off. He fenced it off. Now you can't even go back there.
Can't even go back there. He owned so many communities in that block. Okay, I'm not talking about one house. I'm talking about communities. Okay, and there's something else that he owned around there. But
greedy as hell.
But
he got a bunch of buildings next to it that was supposed to open up, like a school to help people and all this stuff. And now they just abandoned buildings. They just sitting there.
Wow.
And let me tell you something else. He got some kind of deal with the city of College Park that if you're not your ministry have not already been there, you cannot open up a new ministry nowhere within a certain area.
Oh, they banging. They gang banging with the churches. Well, they ain't playing. You come on our territory, it's gonna be some problems.
If you haven't been there, if your church building or whatever haven't been there, you cannot get a permit.
They don't need any more churches in College Park, though.
I agree.
Listen, they got a plaza. Okay, me and Mark went in, and it's like shaped like a U. Okay, when you go in it, okay, it's long down both sides, and then in the back.
I've been to that one with you.
Okay, when you go in there, what was it, Mark? What, 17 churches?
Yeah, something like that.
17 churches in that one little thing.
They can generate a lot of money. They can get a lot of buildings and space, to do this shit. While, all of these cats up underneath the bridge, man. Like, fuck them.
They're nothing, basically, most of them were nothing but little fronts for a 501.
501. They didn't have tax-free. That's all it was. They didn't even have a congregation.
Right.
Oh.
They get some money every month, and that's what that was all about.
That's all it is. See, because of.
But still, they could have did something in the to help while they was helping themselves.
Right.
Now, and see, a lot of them do that for the food bank also. Okay, that's another thing.
Right. What? We got our military over in Africa telling these folks we don't like their leader. We don't like your regime. It needs to change. Wait a minute. How you gonna go to somebody else's home and tell them they need to change, but they can't come here and have an opinion? Think about that.
Are you surprised? Does that shock you?
They both crazy. That's all.
Right. You in somebody else's country telling them what they can and cannot do, and you gonna tell somebody they can't even have their own opinion in this country.
We talking about some people who decide whenever the fuck they want to who they gonna kick off the fucking planet altogether. Like, we will boot your fucking ass into space. They don't give a shit. I mean, right. The original occupiers of the land, the people that's on it now, the people that's on other people's land. Where does it stop?
True.
Where does it stop, Sky Daddy?
I seen a video, okay, that African citizens on their own land had to stop and check in with the British Army before they can proceed farther on their own African land. Why? Because they had went over there, and somewhere around there, the white man had stole the lithium mine and kicked the people off of it.
Right.
What?
They did that. They did that big time
Yes,
over in the Congo. That's what's going on in the Congo right now. That's why there's so much turmoil over there.
yes. This land has been in these people's family for centuries, and the white man is coming over there and kicking them off their own land and setting up military checkpoints for the people that have to check in on their own land that been in their family for centuries.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not so shocking at this point. It's like, I think that the rules that they've been playing by is like they tell us one thing and they also indoctrinate you with one thing. But with a lot of these secret organizations and people that's in power, they told you in not so many words what they really believe in. When they say that possession is 9/10 of the law and all type of stuff, man, they believe that power is power. They can sit here and let all of the people say, "Oh, knowledge is power," and they believe that force. They believe if they take it, it's theirs, and you can't take it back. Then shut the fuck up. That's what they
Right.
be doing. Like, and they gain all of this
That's
time we sitting here arguing and stuff. They building military power, gathering resources, doing all this stuff, and people sitting here talking about, oh, I got my Moorish papers and this and that and the other. It's like, who the fuck is going to enforce that? Like, we will punch you in your fucking forehead, and you will sit down.
Well, I mean, okay, you got your Morris papers. So my opinion, what good is that? So what? You know, we had a certain Moore person that
Oh, Tosh,
Yeah.
brother Tosh.
Now we had a Bay.
That's him,
B-E-Y.
Taj Tariq Bey. That was him.
Oh, that's him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Taj Tariq Bey. That was him.
And this dude got the cussing so bad.
Then he wouldn't shut up. That was the thing that used to get on my nerves. Man, come on.
But he was talking about other Moors.
Right.
And so I'm thinking, you ain't much different than other people. Y'all supposed to be the ones that's together and all this. And he started hammering other people.
Well, that's what's so crazy too. There's nothing. There's nothing really being done. And then when you think about the fact that the arguments that we have and even the talks that we have, a lot of times is unsophisticated. It has nothing to do with what they planning. Like, do we even know what they're doing with 5G? Do we know what they have planned by 2020? Do we know about nanotech? Do we know what we arguing about Trump and certain stuff? There's a lot of stuff going on while we sitting around eating ho-hos and getting fat and like uneducated on what's real. We have no military. We basically we can't demand anything. What can we do except complain some more? they gonna slap you. They doing everything right and we doing everything wrong.
Yep.
And as long
we ain't even working out. Like, people should work out. Why everybody even if we had a military, like how many of these fat people are you gonna take with you? These fat, greasy, chicken eating, finger licking good ass niggas. You like I'm not on your side, brother. Like, stay home.
Right. They work out. They do them 40-ounce curls.
Girl up here talking about, I got a fat ass. You got a fat front, back, and side to side, girl. Like, when did fashion and being disgusting with hard arteries become fashionable? Wow, we have